everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. If you're new, I'd love for you to subscribe. I have a goal of reaching 50 subscribers, and every like, comment, and sub really helps. So if you're into art, creativity, and just learning through the process, stick around. Today I'm working on an art piece using alcohol markers, which I'm still pretty new to. My mom got them for me for Christmas, and I'm really excited to explore how they work. This is all about being curious, making mistakes, and learning together. So let's dive in. I'm starting this piece with a pencil and a compass, drawing circles on my paper. There's something really satisfying about using a compass, the way it creates these perfect, smooth arcs. I like to use a ruler as well to find a good starting point, making sure everything is balanced. I start small and work outward, keeping the same center point in the top left area of the page. Once I have my circle set up, I outline the words, "Art is life." This is really intentional choice for me because I've had a huge mindset shift lately. I used to think of art as something I did on the side, like a hobby, but now I'm really embracing it as a central part of my life. Not as something I do, but something that's woven into everything. And I want to share that with you all. If there's something you love, something that brings you joy, don't push it to the side. Make space for it. That's what this piece is about for me. Now comes the fun part. Color! I pick my markers carefully, sticking with colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. This helps create a more cohesive look and makes blending easier. For this piece, I chose yellows, oranges, and a bit of red. I wanted to be bold, but I also wanted it to be cheerful like the sun. There's something about these colors that just radiates warmth and energy, and since this piece is all about embracing art as a central part of my life, I wanted that feeling to come through. Working with alcohol markers is all about layering and blending, and since I'm still new to them, I want to keep it simple. Before I started blending in the circles for the background, I made sure to outline my letters first. I really wanted to have them in place so they wouldn't get lost as I built up the colors around them. There was something grounding about having the words "art is life" there from the beginning, something to focus on throughout the whole process. It felt like an anchor, a reminder of the intention behind the piece. I knew that no matter how the colors blended or what unexpected things happened along the way, those words would be there, standing out. I start by layering down the darker colors first and then blending in the lighter shades. But then I try the opposite, starting light and building up to dark. I find that I actually prefer starting with the light tones because it gives me more control over the depth and the shadows. I also realized that the alcohol markers dry pretty fast, so you have to work quickly, small sections at a time, blending as you go. And here's a tip I picked up. When blending, use small circular motions. That helps create a smoother transition between the colors. It's actually really satisfying to watch the colors mix together on the page. One thing I noticed as I worked is that while moving across the page was good for keeping things balanced, I wish I had worked more vertically in smaller sections. Alcohol markers blend fast when they're still wet, But by working across the whole page, some areas dried too quickly before I could really soften the edges. Next time, I'll try working in tighter vertical sections to keep the ink moving longer and get that really seamless blending effect. Another thing I experimented with is how I hold the marker. Instead of gripping it tightly like a pencil, I try holding it looser, closer to the end, and just letting the color flow. It helps me relax into the process instead of trying to control every single line. One thing I really loved about these alcohol markers was the color saturation. The chisel tip with its thick, broad strokes was so satisfying to use. It made it easy to lay down rich, vibrant color quickly, and I found myself getting lost in the way the colors blended together. There was something really meditative about it, just watching the pigments flow and mix on the page, layering and deepening as I worked. And as I kept coloring, I kept focusing on the words, art is life. It really reinforced the purpose of this piece for me. The whole experience, choosing the colors, blending them, and just being in that moment, it felt like a reminder of why I want to center art in my life. It's not just something I do, it's something I live. One thing I researched before starting this project is how important the right paper is for alcohol markers. And yeah, I can definitely see why. You can actually see in certain areas of the video where the ink bleeds through. I used a really nice coloring book paper that my sister got me for Christmas, and while it holds up well, I can tell that some papers will absorb too much ink too quickly. If you're working with alcohol markers, look for paper that's thick enough to prevent bleeding, but smooth enough to let the ink blend on the surface. You want the color to sit on top for a second before sinking in. That way you get those nice, smooth transitions. As I finish coloring, I take a step back to really look at the piece. It's not perfect, but that's not the goal. The goal is to create something, to learn through the process, and to embrace the idea that art isn't about perfection. It's about expression. I ended up liking this piece so much that I decided to frame it. Seeing it up on my wall is a great reminder that art is life. It's not just about the finished product. It's about the journey of making it, the lessons learned, and the joy of creating something with your own hands. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you worked with alcohol markers before? Do you have any tips or favorite techniques? Let's learn from each other. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future posts. My goal is to reach 50 subscribers, and I'd love for you to be part of that journey. Until next time, keep creating, keep exploring, and remember, art is life. See you in the next one.